Have you ever found yourself thinking, but what if I never find another person? Or, what if no one else loves me? Have you ever caught yourself believing that if you just try a little harder, have a bit more patience, or change something about yourself, maybe this relationship will finally work? If so, then you have been a victim of one of the biggest factors that keep people trapped in toxic relationships: the fear of loneliness and the illusion of change. The fear of loneliness is not irrational. It has deep roots in our psyche. Since childhood, we are taught that being alone is a bad thing, something to be avoided at all costs. Society reinforces this all the time. Movies, songs, social media, everything tells us that being loved is our ultimate goal. As if being single is a failure. As if not having someone is proof that something is wrong with you. Now, combine that fear with a relationship that has destroyed your self-esteem. A relationship where you are conditioned to believe that no one else would understand you, that no one else would accept you the way this person does, that no one else would love you like this. The result? You convince yourself that leaving would be a mistake, that it would be better to endure what is bad than to risk being alone. But what if I told you that what you are feeling is not fear of loneliness, that what you are actually feeling is emotional withdrawal? Toxic relationships create a state of dependency similar to addiction. You are not just attached to the person, you are trapped by hope. You remember the person they were at the beginning, those moments when everything seemed perfect, and you believe that if you just hold on a little longer, that version of them will return. You rationalize the bad moments, justifying them as temporary phases. You cling to empty promises, to sweet words spoken at the right moments, and ignore the reality of their actions. This is not love. This is the illusion of change. The problem is that real change does not happen because you want it to. It doesn't happen because you love enough. It doesn't happen because you have sacrificed yourself to the point of having nothing left. True change only happens when the person recognizes the problem and has a genuine desire to transform. And let's be honest, how many times has this person promised to change? How many times have you heard excuses? How many times have you believed that this time would be different? If nothing changes, it's because this relationship was never meant to change. And accepting that hurts. It hurts because it means giving up hope. It hurts because it means facing the emptiness left by something that consumed so much of your life. It hurts because it means admitting that you invested time, energy, and love in something that never had a future. But this pain is temporary. The pain of continuing, that is eternal. But leaving a toxic relationship is not just about deciding to walk away. If it were that simple, you would have done it already. To truly leave, you need to break the emotional bond, reprogram your mind, and rebuild your identity. And that is exactly what we will talk about next. How to break the cycle and start the process of emotional detoxification. Have you ever noticed that, even knowing that this relationship is destroying you, something inside you still hesitates? Even when the pain becomes unbearable, there's still that voice saying, "What if I'm making a mistake?" Or, "What if I never feel something like this again?" This happens because leaving a toxic relationship is not just a rational decision. It's not enough to understand that this relationship is harmful to you. You need to reprogram the way your brain associates love, validation, and even your own identity. You need to go through a true process of emotional detoxification. Yes, detoxification, because this relationship functioned like a drug. Every little dose of affection was a reinforcement to keep you trapped. Every moment of hope was an addictive stimulus. And now, just like an addiction, you need to cut this cycle definitively to regain your freedom. But how to do that? How to finally break this bond that seems unbreakable? Step 1. The total break. The no contact. If you want to truly heal, you cannot maintain contact. And that means no messages, no calls, no "let's stay friends." Any contact you have with this person reactivates the emotional conditioning and pulls you back into the spiral of confusion. You might think, but what if he or she changes? What if he realizes what he lost? But here's the truth. If this person were capable of changing, they would have already done it. If they truly valued you, they wouldn't have brought you to this point. What they feel is not regret. It's fear of losing control over you, and maybe you think, but I just want closure. You don't need that. You already know everything you need to know. The closure you want is not an answer. It's a last reason to stay. So cut it. Cut everything. Block them on your phone. Leave social media. Don't accept crumbs. And get ready, because when you finally do this, the emotional withdrawal will hit hard. Step 2. Endure the withdrawal without relapses. In the first few days, you will feel an emptiness. Your brain has been conditioned to seek this person to feel complete. So their absence may seem unbearable. But this is not longing. This is withdrawal. The problem is that your brain will try to convince you to go back. You will only remember the good moments, forget the suffering, and think, maybe I overreacted. But that's just your addiction trying to pull you back. The best way to get through this phase is to replace the old pattern with a new one. Fill that emptiness with something else. Get into a routine that keeps you busy. Exercise. Read. Hang out with friends who make you feel good. And above all, don't romanticize the past. Make a list of everything this person did to hurt you and reread it whenever you feel like going back. Step 3. Rebuild your identity. Toxic relationships destroy self-esteem. You've gotten used to seeing yourself through the eyes of the other. You were taught to believe that you are not enough, that you will never be truly loved, that you need to change to be accepted. Now it's time to reprogram yourself. You need to ask yourself, who was I before this relationship? What did I like? What made me happy? What did I abandon to fit into this relationship? Recovering means rediscovering yourself. It means finding your voice, your desires, your autonomy again. You don't need a relationship to be whole. This idea was planted in your head by a society that profits from your insecurity. But the truth is that the love that truly matters, and the only one that can heal you, is self-love. And that's exactly what we will talk about now. Because leaving a toxic relationship is not the end. It's the beginning of something much greater. And true liberation only happens when you finally choose yourself. There comes a moment when you need to make a decision to continue destroying yourself in the name of a love that was never real, or finally choose yourself. Because in the end, it doesn't matter what the other person feels. It doesn't matter what they promised. It doesn't matter how many times they said they would change. What really matters is what you accept for your life. And maybe, at that moment, you still feel doubt. Maybe that voice inside you is still saying, but what if it's different? What if I'm exaggerating? What if I never find someone else? That voice is not yours. That voice was implanted over time, reinforced by every crumb of affection you were made to accept, by every cycle of manipulation that destroyed your self-confidence, by every time you put your own well-being second to please someone who never truly cared about you. But now you know. Now you see. Now you have a choice. And I need to be direct with you. No one is going to save you. No answer will come out of nowhere. No divine revelation will free you from this cycle. Either you make this decision, or you keep repeating this pattern until there is nothing left of you. Because that is the fate of those who remain in a toxic relationship, an emotional exhaustion so great that you completely lose yourself. You stop knowing who you are, what you like, what you want. You reduce yourself to a secondary role in someone else's life. And when you realize this, it may be too late. So stop. Choose to leave. Choose to break the cycle. Choose to rebuild yourself. And don't think that this means it will be easy. On the contrary, the first days will be the hardest. You will miss them, you will want to go back, you will question if you did the right thing. But over time, something incredible will happen. The fog will start to lift. Your mind will become clearer. You will realize that that love was never love. You will remember who you were before this relationship. And then, one day, without warning, you will wake up and realize that you are finally free. But to get there, you need to take the first step. You need to make this choice now. And I want to know, what affected you the most in this video? What part made you see something that perhaps wasn't so clear before? Leave it in the comments, because your experience can help others who are going through exactly what you went through. And more importantly, keep watching. The next video is essential for your process. If you made it this far, you need to see it. Trust me, you can't stop now.